I'm in receipt this box from Jomashop. So I ordered this item it on March 15th. It's a Tuesday, and here we are Friday, just 3 days later, and it's here. DS-1 DayDate automatic in silver. It listed retail as $865. I think they called it a St. Patrick's Day special, and I also had a coupon, $20 off. I got it for a total of $309.83. One of the Swatch brand watches. So the Swatch brand includes, at the top of the heap, Breguet, Glashute, Blancpain, Omega, Longines. In the middle range it includes the Certina, along with Tissot, Mido, Hamilton. And these watches, this watch in particular, I bought because of its movement, which is, well, it's just brand new, absolutely. As you can see, with a nice watch pillow there. There's the Certina, very nice packaging. So this watch, probably in the middle of the pack for these Swatch brand watches. As you can see, just a perfect looking watch. There's the tags, which I will preserve as is. Okay, international warranty, 24-month warranty. So that's that. Certina. So it comes with that QR code. I don't know what that's all about. I'm gonna leave it on for now. I'm gonna rotate 32 times. So this is an ETA. This is an ETA 2834. 2836. The date is at 3 o'clock, as well as the day of the week. And the 2834 is the variant of the 2836, with the day of the week up top usually, and the date at the bottom. It can be also at 3 o'clock. Certina, founded 1888. So these are, as it said, 868 retail, but have been recently selling it for as high as $536. The 2834-2 ETA movements alone are sell in the range of like $200, $250 on eBay. So pretty good deal for the whole package. Steel case, exhibition back, Electron shock, 25 joules, 38-hour power reserve. Kind of a brown Certina leather strap with a butterfly deploying clasp. Push-pull crown. I'm going to try setting the date now. Today is Friday, March 18th. So let's see. So I set it to Thursday initially. And then I'll set the date to Thursday the 17th. 17th. Now I'm going to wait for the second hand to come all the way around to 12 o'clock. So by setting the time this way, so I start one day before and then I go forward, I can ensure myself that it passes noon. It's currently about 1:17 p.m. It passes noon and not midnight, thus changing the date. That way I can be certain what time of day or night, the day dates are. So that's the best way, I think, to reset or set a watch. So this is a 28,800 beats per hour. So moderate beat movement, the ETA 3/4. So these are usually of amplitude 250s or so. Okay, here comes 12 o'clock. I'm gonna pull it out. And there, that's the hacking. So 12 o'clock. Now I will move the primary hand until it passes midnight, putting me to Friday, the 18th, which is today. And then I will move past noon. Current time is 1:18 p.m. like I said. So it is now 1. So I'm going to say that 1:19 there. Because the time is, as you can see, coming up pretty shortly on 1:19. And as it does, I will push this button to sync it with world time. This is 1 second behind for some reason, but anyway. 7, 8, 9. So it is hacked at 1:19 p.m. Friday, March 18th. So time now has been set. First I will dial up. I'm going to put the plastic so I don't scratch the finish on the crown, because the crown is signed. Okay, so here we go. Timegrapher on. Let's turn the annoying sound off. Okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of time for the movement to settle since I jostled it. Alright, we got 52 degrees lift angle, 28,800 beats per hour, amplitude of 297, very good amplitudes. Got 0 beat error, that's going up to 303, plus 13 seconds per day, dial up. But the line seems relatively organized, typical of an ETA movement. I'm going to call it a 13. I'm going to flip it to the crown up. Alright, I'm going to call that about a 14. I'm going to go up to, go to crown down now. So the lines are starting to organize a bit, but at crown down, the line looks a bit unhealthy. Alright, I'm going to call it plus 19 with 285 and beat error of 0.1. Alright, now dial down. Alright, I'm going to call that plus 18. Up again. I might have done that position wrong. Alright, staying at 19. I'll just call it 19. It's a strong movement. Fairly consistent. I'm going to compare that to just the difference between that and the Japanese Orient movement. So it looks like this. There's the Orient movement, fuzzier baseline, it's lower beat, slightly more accurate. as you can see. Let's try crown down. Out of the way, the Orient Sun and Moon for now. Turn off the Timegrapher. Now is the time when I will put this band on. ETA was a S.A. It was formed as a specialty watchmaker from a combination of consolidation of a couple of watchmakers going all the way back to 1793. So they included like the consolidation of Lemania, Valjoux, watchmakers like that. And really by the Depression, 1931, they were able to, it was very tight. Maybe I'll just keep that along with it. So they created the Swatch, the ETA group, but primarily formed around the Eterna line, Eterna watchmakers. And the 1856 Eterna. Through a series of mergers, it became the largest exclusive subspecialty watchmaker in Switzerland. And they continued to consolidate, especially after the Depression. And so with the Depression, they were fearing bankruptcies from around that time. They created a couple of companies as a protection from going out of business. I think essentially just sold to people who created this business, and it's some Swiss-French name, but its acronym is ASUAG and SSIH. And this happened all over again from the threat of quartz, Japanese quartz watches back in the 70s, where they consolidated, merged to create other companies again. By 1998 or so, SMH was founded in 1983, the merger of SAUAG and SSIH. And the SMH was like Society de Microelectronique, the Horologie or something like that. In 1983, and in 1983 they were renamed the Swatch Group. Swatch is kind of a really lower level, kind of a quartz watchmaker, which made crap plastic watches that were advertised to teenagers and such on fashion magazines in the 80s. I remember those. So who would have known that that name would take over and become the carrier group for many watches, including many famous and elite watches like Omega. Who would have imagined that? But that's what happened. By 1998, the SMH group renamed itself Swatch. The Swatch Group S.A. And so with that renaming, they continued onwards to today. So this Certina brand, I believe, is a fairly well-known brand dating back to the 1800s. This guy, the family of Adolf and Alfred Kurth of Grenchen, Switzerland, who produced watches consecutively through 1955, 1972, eventually abandoned their in-house calibres in the late 1970s and merged with the SSIH ASUAG group that eventually became the Swatch group. Merged and gave up their production and their name, along with Tissot and Mido, around 1983, around the time when ETA 2824, their workhorse came out. This movement, the 2834, kind of a newer movement, I think, but very similar to the 28362 movement. The 2 or 1, the -2, -1 designations started in 1970s, 1979, I believe. 1970 maybe. Here it is. So these pieces called double shop because Certina focused really on the sturdiness of their cases, the double shock from water and sudden jolts, and so they adopted that turtle logo as symbolic of being waterproof and shockproof. That's what Certina had been known for. The ETA 2834 occurs in a variety of really solid watches, including the Hamiltons, the Marathon watch that I own, the JDD that I sold off recently. Initially had the clone Certina S.A 220-1, but I believe they somehow got back into the 28362. I don't know how they did that. Maybe Marathon has been adopted into the Swatch family. I don't know, but in any case, the ETA movements no longer can be used by any company outside the Swatch group after a bunch of legal wrangling in the courts, I believe. But this watch, or this movement, appears to be probably standard grade. Standard grade is usually regulated to just 2 positions. Variance about 12 seconds, which is what this one was, and 30 seconds of max variation. The Labouré grade is regulated to 3 positions, approximately 7 seconds, with 20-second maximal grade. And the top grade of the ETA movements are regulated to 5 positions, with variations allowed of only about 4 seconds, plus minus, and a 15-second maximal variation grade. The chronometer grades, which they also make, meet the COSC standards, which are as good as Rolex or Omega or any of those watches. Overall, I don't know how valuable that is because the movements will vary over time based on how you abuse it. Appears in the range of about 39 millimeters, 12, 13 or so, 20 millimeter lug width. So what I've seen compared to Japanese movements in general, these ETA movements really hold their variance for a long time. Very accurate for a long period of time. 5, 6, 7 years at least before it starts really going out, unless it gets magnetized or something. So my favorite movement is this ETA 2834-2 with the day of the week at the top, the date at the bottom. The ETA 2892 was I think the origin movement, which going back to like early 1970. And that's the movement because it's so thin that is housed in IWC, Breitlings, Omegas. The Omega 1120 is basically a 2892 embellished a little bit. Here's the most expensive watch I own, which is the Damasco. This has the Valjoux 7750, which are the chronograph movements in just about every ETA watch since it was developed in 1970. So one of the things I liked about this watch is, despite it being a dress watch, here's my UV flashlight there, it has lume. So I like to wear watches at nighttime when I'm sleeping, so because I have some insomnia, so at night I frequently look at my watch to see what time it is. Watch prestige, I don't care that much. Personally, I don't think Omegas at like 8,000 or Rolex Submariners at 12,000 is worth the price, because the watch movements themselves are very similar, if not exactly the same. Of a more expensive watch, you'll see many more jewels and embellishments, that's what they call it. There it goes. Very nice movement. The Certina. There I see the balance wheel tick-tocking. And there you see the ruby jewel centered on the Inca block shock. You see that screw on the plus minus, so it's regulatable by myself. This rear, however, doesn't look easy to get off. Probably will just be requiring a pressure twist off. 100-meter water resistance, sapphire crystal, stainless steel, Certina 25 jewels. And there's the rotating automatic works. The crown is very rough to turn. Heavily jimped crown. Kind of hurts your finger to turn it, but I think I put these bands on backwards, but actually this makes it easier to put on, doesn't it? By the way, I just cleaned this band with saddle soap. The hands and the markers are a bit kind of a rose gold tinge, which makes it stand out, but not too much. It's not overly gaudy.